Hi, everyone. I'm an independent food business and hospitality coach. My name's Mark Collins, and I'm doing these interviews that have been kindly sponsored by Burns and Ferrell to get a sense of how people are getting on out there in the industry during this COVID and post-COVID period. And today I've got the pleasure of speaking with Grant Kitchen, and Grant's from Palmerston North. Welcome, Grant.
Thank you.
Would you like to give us a short introduction about yourself and your business?
Definitely. I'm the director of Kitchen Harmony, which is a collaboration between myself and Mark Harmon, who is another local chef. 27 years in the industry, and currently doing a consultancy contract for 3 restaurants and bars in the heart of Palmerston North.
Fabulous. And are you enjoying being a consultant or working as a consultant?
Yeah, definitely. Because I enjoy, I'll take a quote from UCOL just across the road, actually. I enjoy passing on the passion, and that's what it is about this industry. You've got to be passionate about it and positive as well. You've got to be positive about it. And one of the questions I always ask, owners of restaurants and bars is, what do they think that their business is about? And it's about sales. It's about selling food and beverage, and you've got to have that right product. You've got to have the right system. You've got to have the right ethics, the right protocols, and definitely that sequence of service mapped right out.
Yeah. Oh no, fabulous. Well, actually, that's a bit of a segue into, the last couple of months, the industry's clearly had some, the whole bloody world's had some challenges, but our hospitality industry's had more than its fair share, I guess, and a lot of businesses are obviously needing to get through this, and no question that that's going to be hard. But rather than focus on the negatives, Grant, I mean, you can always dial up anyone to give you an outline on what's going wrong and how bad it is. But out of these podcasts or videos, I really want to focus on positive thoughts and things that we can do or are doing that can make a difference, and clearly that can help inspire peers and people in the industry that might be really badly affected. And if those of us that have been around a little bit longer and been through a couple of these speed bumps before can give a bit of perspective and insight, I think that's positive. So I'm going to ask you some questions now, or try and inspire some discussion around a few points that hopefully you can share some of your thoughts and insights and experience.
Certainly.
Great. So what do you think the 3 most significant things that you've been working on over the April-May period that you're taking forward with you? What are your biggest reflections?
Well, for starters, how positive everyone's been around, COVID-19 and getting through that. The government did a fantastic job. Whether you like it or you dislike it, Jacinda Ardern did an amazing job, especially fronting up every single day and taking all those questions and having the right answers. All credit to her.
Yeah.
She was solid.
Oh, I agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. And like you say, whether you're as left or right, you couldn't fault the effort that she put in. So
everyone I've spoken to has said the same thing. There are a few people out there that think that we should have had business up and running earlier, but she played it safe, and she played it so because she thought of the people rather than first and then foremost. If everyone's safe, then we have a positive economy going forward.
Yeah.
Hospitality wise, obviously everyone in hospo was, and it's no one's fault here in New Zealand. It's no one's fault. We are doing something about it now, and there seems to be a lot more confidence happening out there at the moment. Around here in the Manawatu, I was in a small cafe, Joe's Garage, just around the corner, and they were pumping on Saturday and Sunday. They were which was very positive to see. So the business will get there. You've got to stay focused, obviously, on providing those right products and making sure that you're creating your own point of difference.
Yeah, yeah. So you'd say having the making sure that you got the right menu, having something unique or specific to you, and stay positive. That's the thrust of it. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I absolutely think that's great advice. Just kick on, I've been thinking about in the businesses that I work with, what assets they've got that maybe they haven't tapped into previously because business was steaming along. And in these times of pivoting and adjusting and reassessing things, sometimes we've got old pieces of equipment or maybe a clever staff member that can do a bit of social media or some other stuff that we aren't fully utilizing. In the businesses that you're working with now, are you seeing the opportunity to re-engage with some of the existing assets that maybe hadn't been fully turned on or exploited, and now's the time to be able to leverage those a bit?
Yeah, I mean, and you talk about assets, it could be just, some of the people that are there that have some skills that could help to develop the business itself. I find, as I've started this contract now, I'm working on 3 businesses in Palmerston North, and there's an absolute rabbit warren of old products sitting in little cubby holes and nooks and crannies all over this place. There's a basement area which has equipment sitting there. I saw 3 dishwashers that are in working order. There are all sorts of pieces of equipment lying around, which again could be utilised. So that's a positive for me, because I think, well, I'm sitting down an alleyway at the moment, which is the Regent Arcade in Palmerston.
Yes.
And that there would be an ideal long table function, which you could hold once a month through the summertime.
Yeah.
Night or day, because it reminds me of Vulcan Lane in Auckland, actually.
Yeah. Or the laneways in Melbourne or Sydney.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So a great little asset there by itself, which hasn't been utilised.
Yes, exactly. And also, you talked about changing the menu before. Often have chefs that can cook a whole lot of other things that maybe bring a bit of variety or a bit of inspiration and newness and freshness to a brand, or even maybe a special night, like maybe a Malaysian night. Do you see any potential to use the expertise of those in the kitchen to broaden the mindset around the food?
Yeah, well, I believe in getting buy-in into a menu means getting the staff involved, and they've got input into that menu. They buy into it because that's coming from their passion, from their skill level, and developing something. It only could be 1 or 2 dishes even on the menu that's theirs. And as you say, themed evenings at Brew Union. I was the head chef of Brew Union here in Palmerston North for 2 years, and so we started gin tastings 2 years ago. I did 21 gin tastings with them. The 21 gin tastings there with them, and we started off with only 15 people at the first one. It was 5 gins, 5 courses, and then when I left, we were sold out at 75. And that was basically just having a bit of a play, not doing food that's usual to a gastro pub.
Yes.
And the same sort of thing here, which is being able to do themed, as you say, themed evenings or themed events where the staff can get involved and design a dish, and teaching them how to match food and beverage as well.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's a great example. Actually, it's classic case of giving someone another reason to come out on a night that maybe they wouldn't have, and accordingly, there's 71 people that maybe wouldn't have otherwise come without a reason. So that's exactly what's required, isn't it? That's a classic example of creating some attraction, a reason for someone to come to your place and enjoy your hospitality. And I guess it sits very much in that unique selling point that you talked about before. And then obviously those people talk positively about it, as you've indicated, and it's easier to fill the next event. So a great example. Are you sorry?
it is, we talk about innovations as well, and you've always got to be innovative. There's always, I continue to learn in this industry. You never know it all. There's always something different that's coming through, and it's always got to be open-minded, positive as well. There might be just something that somebody does and within your team that, because they've worked in different environments as well, it's bringing that to the table, and you go, well, that could actually work.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think you're spot on there. I think that brings me to a question around digital or tech improvement in the industry, and how we're seeing more and more of that. And in fact, in many cases, you might even say a lot of it has been inspired from a kitchen perspective, although I think it's across the whole business. Point of sale, improved point of sale equipment, apps that connect customers, they're all present right through the industry. I guess the next big breakthrough is how we join that together to improve the customer experience, and I guess, or remove some glitches within our current sort of mindset, and maybe even improve productivity, which makes us more competitive. So is there anything that you see that you think is on the brink of changing right now?
Yeah, well, obviously with social distancing, one of the things is ordering. So I saw it, I got contacted about 3 years ago. I was up in Auckland at the time, and a company out of Christchurch called ServeMe came up, and they were meeting with Simon Gold at Giraffe, and about possibly piloting the program in Auckland. And so I went up there and I had a look at the system, and it was very, very interactive. It made a whole lot of sense. So ever since then, Juanita from ServeMe has sort of, come back to me and asked questions, and, my thoughts on how it could be developed. Food safety programs is another one, obviously becoming apps now, which is fantastic. That's making life a lot easier. And obviously the ovens and the tech around, say, we talk about Rationale, the ovens that they have with connecting into the food safety programs as well, and doing temp checks.
Right.
Being able to utilise their recipes that they have built into them, and controlling a temperature of products as well.
Right, and improving the yield, I suppose. And not only is it good food safety, but improves the yield. You've got more to sell, improves your batch cooking, which I guess improves your staff cost. I mean, there's some fantastic things within our kitchens that often aren't leveraged. And in fact, some businesses would do well just to relearn more about their kitchen equipment, their point of sale, and maybe their refresh their understanding of what they've already got that they could get more out of. And your oven examples are classic. I mean, there's a lot of people have really clever Rationale ovens in their kitchens, and they're still using it like an old convection oven.
Yep.
Turn it on at the start of the service or the start of the workday, and let it run the whole time, and just put stuff in and out. Very inefficient.
Yeah, that's right. I put 2 self-cooking centres into the Empire Hotel up in Auckland, and the owners started diverting the owners from a conveyor pizza oven. We put pizza decks in the bottom one, and we used the top one for a general service. And the efficiency of that oven was incredible. We're pumping out from raw pizza doughs, 4.5 minutes, you've got 12 pizzas done.
Wow.
So and we were doing, near on 450 covers in a lunchtime, and that thing just outstanding.
And how many do you have in the kitchen?
We had 5 on in the kitchen, because we had saucier, garmagere, we had the pizza section. There was 1 in the pizza section, 2 on grill, because they'll do 350 steaks in a lunchtime.
Wow.
And then garmagere and fry section as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you'd have to say that's damned efficient. I've worked in kitchens, as I'm sure you have, with 30, 40 cooks, and nothing like those numbers, I can assure you.
Yeah.
So, hey, thanks very much. That's very helpful. I've got a question here about the importance of a sense of humour, and probably even more so through these tough times, and both the business owners feeling the pressure, but so too are the staff worried about their job
Yep.
and their own situation. As well as that, it's really important to create that sense of fun for the customer. No one wants to go somewhere and feel the weight and oppression. Have you got any thoughts on how to maybe lift things up a bit, Grant?
Yeah, I mean, anyone that knows me well, and there's a few people around the place, they know that I do like to have fun in the kitchen, and that then once that fun generates itself and you've got that smile on your face and your teams are happy, then that comes out through to the customer as well.
Yeah.
And it's all about being organised, having those efficiencies in place and remaining positive, because the fact that we've got through this hard time now, it's about remaining positive. And even though some of our business owners out there have struggled, hopefully we'll be through the hardest part. Our government have made sure of that, and now we just need to crack on and be confident in our people out there and get out and enjoy our restaurants and our bars.
Fabulous. Look, I'd just like to finish with one little thing, I guess, the importance of connection with our customers, daily management of our key numbers, and looking after our staff, or inspiring our staff and everyone working to those two goals. Is there anything else that you would like to share before we wrap this up, both people employed but also business owners?
Hard,
mate.
Especially around social distancing, what I've witnessed over the last weekend is hard to manage. People are, if they're habitual in your business and they're used to coming in one door, and yet you've set that door off for the exit, not the entry. If you've got people that who haven't seen each other for such a long time out of lockdown, yet they'll go and mingle in their bubbles anyway. Don't be too hard on yourself. Just let it happen. There's nothing you can really do about it. People should be self-managing anyway, and I think in the positive aspect of what we're doing at the moment and how we've come through this, I think we're through the hardest part of it all now. It's just about enjoying being back in here. I tell you what, for me personally, those 7 weeks of being isolated in lockdown, and I was looking after 3 households because there was a couple of elderly people around me. Being back in the work environment is even positive. Finding a reason to get up in the morning is positive.
Look, we love being at work, and we love serving people, and we wouldn't be in the industry still. So I think it is about that connection and that and drawing the energy from that to inspire others. So, hey, look, it's been wonderful talking with you, Grant, and catching up after all this time. Thank you very much for sharing your experience and wise thoughts, and all the best with the next few months, eh?
Yeah, you too. Thanks, Mark.
Lovely. Great.